My name is Patharatan Vidyaguru Bhufa.
My name is Parva Santiwaranon XinXin.
My name is Titi Walada Sanjarathun Korya. Today we are going to report on an important issue that many teenagers are facing today, that is called underage gambling. Underage gambling is when the people below the legal age, usually 18 or 21, depending on the country, risk money or valuable item on the game of chance. This includes sport betting, casino games, lotteries, and even a simulate betting in some video games. Although gambling may seem fun and exciting, but it can become a serious problem for young people. If teenagers start gambling at a young age, they could develop unhealthy habits and that are difficult to stop in the later in life. That is why teenagers must understand the risk before making any decision about the gambling. There are many reasons why some teenagers gamble. First, teenagers gamble because of peer pressures, because of they want to fit in with their friends or having fun together. And the second is, gambling is easy to access through website, mobile apps, and also the online games. So teenagers can join this activity with just a few clicks. Some are also curious and enjoy the excitement of taking risks or winning money, and others are influenced by family members, celebrities, or social media that making gambling seems normal. And some teenagers believe gambling could help them earn money quickly, while others gamble because of they want to escape their stress or boredom. So if they do not understand the danger, they may continue gambling without realizing the consequences. Underage gambling can have many serious consequences. Some teenagers, they could lose their money that should be used for school or daily expenses, and they may also become addicted to gambling. That make it difficult to stop. And gambling can affect their mental health by causing stress, anxiety, depression, or low self-esteem. Students who gamble often spend less time to studying, so their academic performance becomes worse. It can also damage their relationship with their family or friends because of lying, borrowing money, or losing trust. In addition, underage gambling is illegal in many countries, so young people could face legal consequences. Teenagers shouldn't gamble because of the risk and much greater than the rewards, and they ought to choose healthy activity instead.
Now let's look at the laws and school rules. In Thailand, people under the age of 20 must not gamble except in activities permitted by law. Most forms of gambling are illegal under the Gambling Act, and people who organize or take part in illegal gambling may be fined or imprisoned. Students must also follow school rules. They must not gamble or bring gambling material to school. If they break this rule, they may be given warnings, detention, suspension, or other punishment. Online gambling is also against Thai law, so teenagers should not be advertising or going to illegal gambling websites. Underage gambling affects not only individuals, but also families and society. Gambling may cause stress, anxiety, depression, and addiction on an individual level. Teenagers who get addicted may have problems at school and may have difficulties in concentrating on their future goals. Families can also suffer if the teenager secretly spends family money or steals cash to gamble. Trust could have been broken and arguments may become more frequent at home. Society is affected as well because gambling addiction can increase crime rates, healthcare costs, and unemployment. Therefore, everyone should work together to prevent underage gambling. So what advice should we give to teenagers? First, understand that gambling is not an easy way to become rich. Gambling companies are built to make money, and that means players are more likely to lose money more than to win it. Teenagers should be cautious regarding placing any bets They can use fake IDs or someone else's information to get around age limits. If they ever feel pressure or tempted to gamble, they ought to talk to a trusted adult, teacher, parent, or school counselor. Asking for help early can prevent much bigger problems later.
What teenagers should and shouldn't do. Teenagers should set limits on their time using gaming and social media apps, especially apps with betting features. They should also keep track how they spend their money. If they ever feel like gambling, they should talk to a trusted adult, teacher, or friends as soon as possible. Using blocking apps like Gamban or BetBlocker and BetBlocker can also help. Finally, teenagers should spend their free time on healthy activity like sport, music, or hobby. Now, let's talk about what teenagers shouldn't do. Teenagers shouldn't try to win back money after losing a bet. And they also shouldn't share their personal information such as their ID or bank details. It's important not to believe people who promise easy money or guarantee wins. Teenagers should never borrow money to gamble, and they shouldn't hide their gambling habits from their family. So next, let's talk about what teenagers must and mustn't do. So teenagers must follow a law and only gamble if they are old enough. Although it's much safer not to gamble at all, they must protect their personal information and report any identity theft. If gambling becomes a problem, they must ask for help from trusted adult or counselor. They should also be honest with their parents about how they spend their money. On the other hand, teenagers mustn't use fake ID to enter gambling websites. They mustn't steal money or valuable to gamble. They also mustn't gamble while using alcohol or drugs because it can affect their decision. Finally, they mustn't borrow money or lie about their gamble habits. And lastly, here are some ways to prevent underage gambling. First, learn about the risks of gambling and understand its financial and emotional effects. Second, don't give to peer pressure if your friends ask you to gamble. Third, spend your free time doing healthy activity like playing sport, listening music, or read a book. Fourth, talk to your parents, teacher, or your counselor if you need help. Fifth, use parent control or website blocker to avoid gambling websites. Finally, school and family should teach teenagers about the danger of gambling so they can make better decisions. That's all for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Goodbye.